joined in the studio by Nathan Kwao, who is a sports journalist for City FM. Nathan, thank you so much for joining me here. Let's quickly run by, beginning with the Commission of Inquiry, the talking point yesterday for Kwesi Nyantakyi.
Essentially, it was about the management and all this money, the appearance fees and all of that. Remember that Emmanuel Jima, who's the secretary, spoke about the fact that 7 people had their names on the list, 5 got the number. But Kwesi Nyantakyi said more than 5 were paid. He said over 20 people and other people who had helped in and outside the FA were entitled to.
So who do we believe?
I find it very difficult to know exactly what to believe, because here's a secretary who has paperwork signed by the president, Kwesi Nyantakyi himself, saying that 5 people are due to get X amount of money. Then we hear that, okay, all this amount of money didn't go to only 5 people, it went to more than 5 people. I think that those matters have a lot of grey areas, and over time we will get to know what exactly the truth concerning the appearance fee is. The other key point was the issue about Sule Muntari. For me, the biggest revelation was that the Brazilian authorities wanted to arrest Sule because it was an assault case between himself and Mr. Moses Ama, and for me that was striking. And then of course there was a hula baloo about Kwesi Nyantakyi's religion, Christian, Muslim, Quran, Bible, Quran, whatever. I think we got some clarity. But for me, what's most important about this commission is this: that we are beginning to learn more about how things happen and how things should be done. And I think at the end, the recommendations will tell us as to how we should handle things, money, and everything going forward.
But let's move away from that. And Maxwell Konadu named his 3-month squad for that game against Guinea. Any surprises in there for you?
I was.
There was thought that Kwarase was coming back.
Yes, and he made his return. I thought that was fair. On the goalkeeper's part, he's done quite well. He's been a regular for his club.
But with the squad that he released, that is on the other side, Kwarase is not part of the squad.
That's quite interesting, and we'll find out in just a few hours whose squad is right, depending on who you want to believe. I was delighted to see Yao Frimpong in there, even though I was surprised. I didn't think he was coming back to the team anytime soon, but he's made it. Good opportunity for him. He's played well for TP Mazembe. He's made it back. David Akam gets another shot at it after he missed the World Cup, but largely not too surprising. And you have a feeling that Maxwell Konadu will work with that same crop, virtually that same team Kwesi Appiah had, and then maybe when the new man comes in, he'll try to change things here and there.
Okay, Nathan, thank you so much for joining here on New Day Sports. That's how we wrap up New Day Sports here this morning. But we'll run over and we go to Studio A to Wendy for news on the hour. On the hour. So Wendy, if you're ready, take it over. Well, we'll be bringing you that news pretty shortly. But Nathan, even before we finally wrap up Champions League, Danny Welbeck scoring a hat-trick for Arsenal. And now he's a new king in England.
I'm laughing. Yes, I thought it was a good game for Arsenal. They were open, they were direct. Welbeck got his opportunity. He was aided by Sanchez. We hope to see more of him scoring for Arsenal, because that's why they bought him for £16 million. But for Arsenal, it's good recovery after they lost to Dortmund in that first game away in Germany.
But now they're hailing him, and they're even comparing him to Thierry Henry.
It's a bit too early. He's got to score.
But it's happening in England.
He's got to score 180 plus goals or so to get close to Thierry Henry. But it's a good start. If he can continue, it will be good. For Welbeck, his problems have not been the fact that he can't score. It's consistency. He doesn't score enough on a regular basis. If he does that more often, he'll be fine for Arsenal.
Liverpool still struggling. They went to Basel, and you remember Basel, who beat Manchester United in 2011. They beat Chelsea home and away last season, and they've added another English side to their list.
For Brendan Rodgers' side, I think that they're beginning to understand the dynamics of the Champions League. They've not been in it for a while, and his team still needs a bit more work. They are still gelling, but he must quickly get them to play right, because they have to meet up last season's standards. They must challenge for the title, do well in the Champions League. It's not happening for them at the moment, and they need things to come together. a very bad result. Looking at where they are now at the season, you don't lose your second Champions League game away, but I think they've got enough ground to catch up and make the last 16.
But defending champion Real Madrid also struggling to beat Ludogorets.
It happens. We are defending champions. The Champions League doesn't have recurrent winners, so they will struggle, but they got the win. That's the most important thing. Carlo Ancelotti's team is heavily lopsided. They don't have balance. They are great on the attacking side, poor on the defensive side. They don't have a good shield for that defense. So they will have these problems every now and then when they meet quality sides. But it was good for them. They had to win. Now they've got 6 out of 6. They'll try to move forward. But as I said, the problems will keep coming up every now and then.
And we go to Spain, and there, Simeone, he keeps grinding out results. Were you surprised that Kwadwo Asamoah didn't start again for Juventus?
I was very surprised. And if you're a Ghanaian, you start looking at that Juventus team and start asking questions. Too early to panic, yes. The season is long, and so the consolation I give myself is that there are certain games he will not play, not because he's not good, but maybe Allegri thinks that there are more important things to take care of. But poor result for Juventus, their first loss of the season, first goal conceded of the season. But they go Simeone's side, great. I think they will keep pushing. Will they make another final? I cannot tell, but I think they will go far.
Okay, Nathan, finally, thank you so much for joining me here in the studio. That's how we wrap up sports.